Welcome back, rankers. A bit of excitement overnight about Google Breadcrumbs. What are Google Breadcrumbs? It's an unfortunate name, I think, Breadcrumbs. When the web development industry brought out the term breadcrumbs for bread sites, for websites, the idea was to give you an idea. It's a trail throughout a site. Usually that's what we talk about with breadcrumbs. And typically, if we can just go and find one, well, we don't use breadcrumbs that much on our site. But basically, breadcrumbs, you'll see them in sites a lot, and basically it'll be like this. They'll have a top category, if you like, a subcategory, and then redefined into a further subcategory. And it just gives you the idea of the breadcrumbs is to give you an idea of where you are throughout the site. It's a navigation tool. I think it's unfortunate the name breadcrumbs because presumably that comes from the story Hansel and Gretel, and of course, as we know, the breadcrumbs got eaten by the birds and they couldn't find their way back. Anyway, breadcrumbs, there's been some talk overnight of Google using breadcrumbs in their search engine results. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's interesting for two reasons, if it's going to actually happen. And the reason I say if is because I've seen a lot of news reports overnight, and there was a lot of talk on Twitter about it yesterday. But the only results we've seen so far, or the screenshots, all seem to be coming from either google.co.uk, and they all seem to be around car hire, all the different results. And in fact, the screenshots that we're seeing around the place all seem to be repeated. So it's not clear yet how widespread, if at all, this particular innovation in the Google SERPs will be. We can see it there, where you've got the breadcrumbs. Sorry, the cleaner just arrived. I was just waving to them. Where you've got the breadcrumbs, and you've also got an idea of where you are in that site. Now, the reason that's important is because it tells you something about what Google's finding important as soon as they put something in the search results, like they do with site links, in case you have forgotten what site links are. That's the links that appear in the Google SERPs, in the Google search engine results pages, when they have an authority site. So, for instance, a quick reminder here, if we just type in, I'll just type in Jim Stewart, see what comes up. Okay, so this is our site, stuartmedia.biz, and these are our site links. They're the things that Google finds important about our site, or the links that have been around for a while and seem to have a bit of content around them. The same is sort of applying with the breadcrumb trail. If Google's putting the breadcrumb trail into the SERPs, it means that it's actually looking at the structure of the content on your site. So presumably, if you are selling blue widgets, you might have a top category that says widgets, then you might have a secondary category that says coloured widgets, and alongside that secondary category you might also have one that says modern widgets or whatever. And then under coloured widgets you might have blue widgets, pink widgets, red widgets, whatever. That gives Google an idea that your site has some depth about widgets. All right, so that's the only thing I've got to say on that. We'll wait to see if it actually happens. It'd be great if it does, and I don't really care if it doesn't. It's with all of these things that Google does, all these changes. The one thing you need to keep in mind at the end of the day is, if Google was my search engine, how would I feel about my page turning up for a particular search? And that's all you really need to think about. Because if you follow those rules, you will focus on getting good, relevant content, and Google will just rank you anyway. However, having said that, there are a few things you've got to get in place to make sure your good, relevant content gets found. And these are, we're taking this one this week from Arthritis New Zealand on Twitter, and having a quick look at their site and see if we can help them do some quick SEO. Okay, some common problems that I've noticed with this site, and we see it with all sites. However, have a look at this. I've got a page rank up here that looks like a 7 out of 8. Now, sorry, 7 out of 8, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 8 would be even better. PageRank, don't get hung up on it. Basically, it's used as a tiebreaker. If two pages are equally weighted for a particular key phrase, Google is going to use or rank the one higher that has a higher page rank. So don't get hung up on it. It's primarily made up of the page rank of other pages that link to your page. Make sense? Okay, good. You with me? All right, I think it's very cruel of Arthritis New Zealand to point me at this site, and because we've got a photo of Billy Bowden down here, and it brings back the whole Ashes fiasco. So thank you, Arthritis New Zealand. Okay, you've got a graphic here, so you're losing the opportunity to put text in that front page image. Up here in the page title, we're saying Arthritis New Zealand Home. If you want to rank for the phrase Arthritis New Zealand Home, great place to have that phrase. I'm guessing you probably don't. All of these links here, these are an opportunity once again to get your keywords in links. This particular heading here, if that is something you want to rank for, great. If it's not, I would suggest you use words that you want to rank for in there, or get some other headings on there. Think about the structure of your site as well. I mean, this is good down here. We've got a nice text menu, so if the search engines can't find your JavaScript menu up here, they've got a nice text one they can follow and some nice links. However, there's no keywords in those links. And by keywords, I've had a look at your keyword meta tag, and that tells me about something about the sorts of things you want to rank for, and none of those phrases appear in there. You might want to have a think about the structure of the site and the sorts of things you really want to rank for, and then start structuring the site so that it's very, very easy, not only for the search engines to find those things, but for the humans as well. Also, think about tagging your images. This image here doesn't have an alt tag by the looks of it, which is good, because I hate seeing Billy Bowden's finger like that, except when Australia's not batting. That's it for today's show. If you need any help, or if you've got some questions, just send them through Twitter. That's the easiest way to find me, to all those people who have emailed this week. We just don't get time to answer all the emails from the show. So the easiest way is to chuck it in via Twitter, and I'll usually give you a response, or if not, we will make something up. So thanks very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.